Hello, I'm Jared from the Secret Stage podcast, and welcome to the Bonus Stage Show. This is my experiment with supplemental YouTube show for our podcast. If you aren't familiar with the Secret Stage, and let's face it, the show is something of a secret, don't worry. We're just a small video game podcast that looks at indie and retro games for the most part. This week we talked about those November bugs that popped up last week in games like Assassin's Creed Unity, Halo the Master Chief Collection, and Drive Club. Not only that, but we had a special guest in the form of Evan from the Boston Bastards Brigade, who was there to talk about his experiences playing AC Unity. However, the best part of the show, in my opinion, was Ramsey's big discovery of an English translated version of a Dragon Ball Z Super Nintendo game and the possible Mexican release of a Sailor Moon game from back in 1996. If you want to know more, then tune into this week's show. The link is in the show notes. Speaking of games from the 90s, I'd like to talk about a game I recently replayed in a segment I like to call the Retro Review of the Week. Metroid 2: The Return of Samus was one of my favorite games as a kid. However, back then I had trouble at some parts and needed my older brother to help me out. Of course, that's not the case now, but hey, I was only in the single digits of age back then. The story follows Samus as she travels to an alien world to wipe out the Metroid species. Yes, this game is about genocide. Talk about your dark games. The game was great back then, and I think it still holds up today. The controls are responsive, the challenge keeps things fun, and the audio is above average from the Game Boy era. What stands out to me are the graphics. The designs of the various monsters and Metroids are varied and very alien, if you'll mind the pun. Yeah, they do kind of look like xenomorphs sometimes. The caves do get a little repetitive, but since there is limited backtracking, that is nothing to really worry about. Samus moves fluidly, and there is little to no slowdown, even at the most intense parts of the game. If you're looking for a challenging but still very rewarding game, then give Metroid 2 a try. It can be found as a hard copy easily enough online, and it can be digitally downloaded from the Nintendo eShop. Also, as of this recording, it is one of the games available on the Club Nintendo site for a handful of coins, if you have them. Of course, that's not what triggered this review, it's just really, really ironic timing. Before I wrap up, I'd like to give out some shoutouts, because shoutouts. 1. If you're a fan of the RPG series Xenosaga, then join the team and help make Xenosaga HD a reality. There are several groups on Facebook and Twitter that you can join in order to gain more information about this possible product and who to contact about it. 2. Some weeks ago, I interviewed Dean, the creator of Vidar, the RPG where everyone dies, and you should check out that interview. But, while you're listening to that interview, you can check out his updated website, which has a new trailer, a new demo, and a link for his Eppoku campaign. Check out the game and see if you like it. After all, it's all free on his website, and if you do like it, give this game some support, because cool games like this deserve some support. 3. It is the 10th anniversary of the release of Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. It's a great game, has some memorable bosses, and one of the best endings in the whole franchise. Also, it has some very funny but immature videos that were also created using the characters and the situations from the game. Shoutouts to you, Hideo Kojima, and to you, Konami, for bringing this awesome game out, because it was a hell of a lot of fun and totally worth playing again in HD. Well, thanks for listening and watching, and let me know if you have a retro game you'd like me to review, or a shout-out you want me to do. And if you have any general comments about the podcast or this video, you can post them in the comments below, like you can do with every video on YouTube. Anyhow, until next time, I'll leave you with Metroid by the Code Secret.